Many of you have heard the term mindfulness or the idea of mindfulness. You may have heard me talk about it, or you may have heard about it somewhere else. But I'm pretty sure that most, if not all of you, have heard the term mindfulness and have heard of the concept. It has been one of the buzzwords, if you will, over the last few years that many people are talking about. You may have wondered to yourself, what is this all about? First of all, what's mindfulness? Everybody could have their own spin on mindfulness, but basically, mindfulness pertains to the idea of being able to focus in the moment, not think about the future, not think about the past, but be present in the moment. That takes some effort, and more effort for some than for others. But that's basically the general idea that's associated with mindfulness. Now, you may be wondering, why is mindfulness one of those buzzwords? Why is this a thing that so many people are talking about? Well, look at it this way. In today's day and age, we have so much technology, we have so much data, so much information that it can become overwhelming. If you think about the amount of data that today's human being, that today's individual, every individual practically has to process, it is mind-boggling when you compare that to, say, 50 years ago or 100 years ago. We have data coming at us from every direction, and we have all kinds of sources in form of people or things that are trying to get our attention, from your job to your children to your spouse or partner to the news to social media to advertisement. Just think about all the different sources that are trying to get your attention and trying to present you with some kind of information or data that you have to process. You have to do something with it. And that in itself can be quite overwhelming, which is why, one of the reasons, which is why we have seen this shift in focus, this idea of mindfulness and importance of mindfulness. So even though we live in this fast-paced world where information is coming at us from every direction, every waking moment, when you're awake, you have something coming at you, someone or something trying to get your attention, information being presented to you. But the reality still is that you have to be able to focus. You have to be able to get things done. The ability to focus didn't go away with the increase of this data or information flow. You still have to be able to function. So this is one of the reasons why there is so much emphasis on mindfulness and the idea of being able to focus. So mindfulness, or another way to think of it, being able to be present in the moment, has become quite a topic of conversation, for one of the reasons being because we are so inundated with information and data and people and things trying to get our attention. It's not difficult to imagine that when we are so inundated with information and data, and when we are pulled in so many different directions by people and things who want our attention, it can become overwhelming. It can become stressful. This is why finding a way of being present in the moment, why practicing mindfulness can be very beneficial. And that's what this video is about, really, is what are some of the benefits of being able to be present in the moment, being able to practice mindfulness successfully. So that's one of the reasons. Being able to be focused, being able to stay focused, and as a result, being able to get things done that still need to get done, regardless of how much data and information is coming at you. Another benefit of mindfulness, which is directly related to the first one I mentioned, is your ability to reduce stress and to better manage stress. If you think about it, when you can become focused and centered and stay that way for long enough to get things done and get things accomplished, you are very effectively reducing the stress that would otherwise be part of your experience if you can't focus and can't get things done. So mindfulness is directly related to your ability to reduce stress and better manage stress. When you're able to focus on the now, when you're able to practice mindfulness successfully, you are setting yourself up for being able to experience life in a more fulfilling way. When you are doing something, or you're with someone, or you're having an experience, and you're too distracted to pay attention to what's going on, you're missing out on a lot of that experience, or a lot of that interaction with another person. Maybe most of it, one could say, depending on the situation, depending on where your head is. But if you are able to be mindful and be present in the moment, you're giving yourself the ability to really experience life, experience people, places, and situations for what they really are. So you're taking away that distraction. Think about how different life is for someone who is able to fully experience every moment, as opposed to someone who is constantly distracted and is never really there, but is always somewhere else, be it in the past or in the future, but always somewhere else. That makes a huge difference for your experience. But it also makes a difference for the experience of those who are with you. And that's the other thing that I want to point out in terms of why being mindful is beneficial, because it can benefit the relationships in your life, the relationships that you have with other people. Imagine being with someone and having a conversation, and they're talking to you, but you're not really listening, because maybe you're formulating a response, or maybe you're thinking about yesterday, or today, later today, or tomorrow, or whatever it is that you're thinking about, or the chores you have to do. Whatever it is that is taking your attention away from that person and your time with them is diminishing the experience. So it's not only affecting you, but it's affecting the other person. So think about how much better your exchanges with others, your time with others would be if you were able to be focused in the moment, and if you were able to be mindful and give them your full attention. Being able to be present in the moment and to practice mindfulness regularly and successfully can affect your mindset. It can lead to a more positive outlook on things, because you're not focused on the possibility of whatever disaster might happen in the future. You're not focused on what was and have regrets or anger or whatever else associated with that past event, but rather you're able to look at a situation from the present moment. So that can really affect your mindset. And when we talk about being able to affect our mindset for the better over time, then we're also looking at being able to have a healthier, more emotionally stable experience. That could translate into a healthier, stronger mental health experience. So that's another reason why mindfulness and being able to stay focused, stay in the present can benefit you. Mindfulness isn't limited to just benefits in terms of your emotions and mental health. It can also benefit you in terms of your physical health. Being able to be focused, being able to be present in the moment and practice mindfulness successfully on a regular basis can improve your physical health as well. It can do things like reduce your blood pressure and help you to feel calm and affect the kinds of chemicals and hormones that your body is releasing. Some studies suggest that it may even help you to avoid developing some physical ailments down the road, from heart disease to stomach issues to gastrointestinal issues. You may even be able to get a better night's sleep when you're practicing mindfulness and are able to be present in the moment on a regular basis. So those are just a handful of things to consider. Some of the benefits that have been associated with people who are able to practice mindfulness successfully on a regular basis and incorporate it into their everyday experience so that they find themselves more present in the now rather than allowing their minds to wander into the past, into the future, and miss out on life, miss out on relationships, miss out on experiences, and cause themselves more stress. So these are some of the benefits that I wanted to present to you as to why the idea of mindfulness and getting into that practice is so important, because it truly is beneficial in so many ways. So I invite you to start becoming more present in the moment, start practicing mindfulness, and see what it can do for you. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the link below.